Hi guys, Miss Berg again. We are now going to be going over 8.2. So I am going to flip this around and it's about problem solving with division. So I'm going to do this. Here we go. All right, so this one says Erica makes 6 submarine sandwiches and cuts each sandwich into thirds. So how many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does she have? Well, they want you to do a lot of work for this. And I'm just going to simplify it a little bit and make it easier. So it's saying that there are 6 sandwiches and then they're going to divide it into 1/3 pieces. So they want you to divide it into 1/3s. So they want to know how many 1/3s will go into these 6, how many 1/3 pieces would be in these 6 sandwiches. Well, what they did already for you is they made like 6 sandwiches. And this is just a way that you could do it as well. You could make a model of this and show like 6 sandwiches and then cutting them up into thirds. So that's what they're doing here. So how many 1/3 slices would there be? So that would be 3. This is 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So there's would be actually 18 little sandwiches that come out of this. So that is one thing you could do. Also, you could do the keep, change, flip method as well. Keep means you could just put it over 1. So you could say 6 over 1, change this to a times, and then you're going to flip this to 3 over 1, which is 18 over 1, which is 18 little sandwiches, which is exactly what we had here. So really, you're just doing 6 times 3, which is 18. So that is what you could do on this. So it would have been 18 sandwiches. Okay, next, it says Roberto is cutting 3 blueberry pies into halves to give to his neighbors. How many neighbors will get half of a pie? Again, there are a couple ways that you could do this. First, you could just do what is being asked. So he is going to be taking 3 pies and he is going to be cutting them into halves. So he's going to be dividing it into halves. So he wants to know how many halves are in 3 pies. So you could do it this way. Again, you could do your keep, change, flip method. Keep means bringing this to 3 over 1, changing this to times, and then flipping this around to be 2 over 1, which would come out to be 6 over 1. So then therefore that would be 6 half pieces that he would have. So he could give it to like 6 neighbors. Now, you could have done it like that, or some people are so much better at just visualizing it. So if you need to be one of those people to do a model, then do it. So here's your 3 pies. And remember, it said he wanted to cut them in halves. And then how many could he give to his neighbors? So he could give this to one neighbor, this to a second neighbor, third neighbor, fourth neighbor, fifth neighbor, and then the 6th neighbor. So then this is another way to look at it. It's still 6 neighbors. Okay, next it says a chef has 5 blocks of butter. Each block weighs 1 pound. She cuts each block into fourths. How many 1/4 pound pieces of butter does the chef have? So it's saying that you could visualize it by actually drawing the rectangles. So remember they said 5 blocks of butter. So make 5 blocks. And then they said that she separated them into fourths. So if you did that, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each block will have 4. So that means 3 lines should give you 4 pieces. All right, so then if you do this, you can then see how many pieces that there are. So if you went and counted, that would have been 4, plus another 4, that's 8, plus another 4, plus another 4, and another 4. So that would be 20 pieces. This is just one way if you went and you counted each one of these. So you could do the visual, or you could just do the math behind it as well. You're going to take 5 blocks and you're going to divide them into 1/4 pound pieces. So how many 1/4 will go into this? So you could do the keep, change, flip method. So keep 5/1, change this to a times, and then flip this around to 4/1, which is 20/1, which is 20 pieces. So finally, so the chef has how many 1/4 pound pieces? There were 20 of them. So it is truly up to you whether you want to visualize it or whether you just want to use the keep, change, flip method. It is truly up to you on what works best for you. So what if the chef has 3 blocks of butter and he cuts the blocks into thirds? How many 1/3 pound pieces of butter will that chef have? So you have 3 blocks and then you're going to divide it into 1/3 pieces. So if you want, it may even be better to maybe even do both if you would like. Just do 3 blocks. You're going to cut them up into thirds. So there better be 3 pieces in each of these. And then you can count how many that is. And that will give you your answer that way. And that should be 9 pieces. But then there's also the keep, change, flip method, which is what I'm probably going to be using more often. So that would be keep, then you would change it to times, and then you can flip it to 3/1, which is 9/1, which is 9 pieces. So you're still getting 9 either way you do it. Okay, next it says Holly cuts 3 ribbons into 8s for a craft project. How many 1/8 size pieces of ribbon does she have? So again, you could just do 3 divided by 1/8, or you could make these ribbons off to the side and cut them into 8 pieces for each one. So I'm just going to do the keep, change, flip method real fast. This would have been 3/1. That would be a times, and then this would be 8/1. 8 times 3 is 24/1, which is 24 pieces. So also you could have sat here and, like I said, cut these into those slices as well. So you would do this into 8s. So that would be 7 lines or would be needed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you went and you counted each one of these, there would be 24 pieces. Next, it says Jason has 2 pizzas that he cuts into fourths. How many 1/4 size pizza slices does he have? So it says 2, and then he's going to cut it up into fourths. So you could have easily have done the keep, change, flip. So then that would have been 2/1 times 4/1, which is 8/1, which is 8 8 slices. Some of you like your visuals, which is fine. Here's pizzas. You're going to cut them up into fourths. And then you can just see how many fourths that is. So here's 4 slices over here, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just another way as well to answer that question. Here it says Thomas has 5 sandwiches and he is going to cut them up into thirds. So if you want to make 5 sandwiches, and cut them up into thirds, and then count up how many pieces that is, you can most certainly do that. Or you can do your keep, change, flip. Keep 5/1 times 3/1, which is 15 sandwiches. So you could have also have counted up over here, and so that there would have been 15 of those as well. On the next one, I am just going to do a few on this. So as it says, Julie wants to make a drawing that is 1/4 of the size of the original drawing, and Sahil makes a drawing that is 1/3 of the size of the original. A tree in the original drawing is 12 inches tall. What will be the difference of the height in a tree in Julie's and Sahil's drawings? So what you should be doing is you should be listening to key things here. It says Julie wants to make a drawing that is 1/4 of the size than the original. So Julie is going to do 1/4 of the original. And then it says over here, it says Sahil, so S for Sahil, makes a drawing that is 1/3 of the size of the original. So 1/3 of the original. So a tree that is in the original drawing is 12 inches. So actually, it would be 1/4 of the 12 inches. So if you did that, that would be 12/4, which is 3 inches, because 4 goes into 12, 3 inches. So Julie's tree would end up being 3 inches. And let's talk about Sahil's. So that would be 12. So we got to do what 1/3 of 12 is. So on top would be 12/3. How many 3's go into 12? That would be 4 inches. So Sahil's would be 4 inches. But the question is, what will be the difference between the height of the trees in Julie and Sahil's? Well, difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So here you would have to take these two and subtract 4 inches minus 3 inches, which would be 1 inch difference. All right, next, 3 friends go to a book fair. Alan spends $2.60. Maria spends 4 times as much as Alan, and Keo spends $3.45 less than Maria. How much does Keo spend? So in this one, we're actually should just go off to the side and write this all down so we can keep everything all at once here. So it says Alan spends $2.60. Maria, M for Maria, spends 4 times what Alan does. Well, this was Alan, so therefore I'm going to just place 260 in for Alan. And let's figure out what this comes out to be. But then it says Keo, so I'm going to say AK, spends $3.45 less than Maria. So we would take Maria and then subtract off $3.45. So here we go. I got to figure out what Maria's is so I could place that number in for M. So Maria's was $2.60 times 4. So how many numbers are after the decimal? There are 2. So remember, we have to move it in 2 places after we are done. So this would be 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry your 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. And then you move it in 2 places. So therefore, this would be $10.40 is what Maria spent. So now we're going to do $10.40 minus $3.45. Okay, so you're going to bring down your decimal. Can I have 0 and take away 5? No, I cannot. So then 10 minus 5 is 5. 3 minus 4, I can't do that. So I have to come over and borrow. I don't have anything from here, so I got to come all the way over here. Now that becomes 10, which now I can give up 1 and make it 9 for this to be 13. 13 minus 4 is 9, and 9 minus 3 is 6. So therefore, your answer for Akio is spend $6.95. I am going to be crossing out 8 and 9. I do want you guys to try number 10 on your own. So please pause this and try doing 10 on your own. So you should have paused, and to see if this is correct, there are 2 different ways. It says that Adrian had 3 granola bars and he was going to cut up into 1/4 piece sizes. So they want to see how many fourths go into 3. You could have taken each of these bars and cut them up into fourths. And if you did that, you would have saw that you had 12 of those. You could have done the keep, change, flip, which would have still given you 12 pieces as well. All right, so now we're going to go on to this. And it says Allie has 2 vegetable pizzas that she cut into eighths. How many 1/8 size pieces does she have? So in this case, you could have done one of 2 things. You could have done 2 pizzas, and then you're going to divide them into eighths. So you could have done this. Again, you could have done keep, change, flip. So you'd keep 2/1, change it 2 times, and flip this to 8/1, which is 16/1, which is 16 pieces. Also, you could have done circle pizzas. Some of you don't like the circle pizzas, and that is fine. You could have easily have just have done a rectangular and then just cut it up into eighths if that's easier. So not all pizzas are circles. You could always have pizzas that are rectangles as well. So some people may just think that that is easier to do, and that is fine. Just remember you would need 7 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's really, really small. But you could count those pieces like this. That is fine. So you could do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you counted, that would have been 8 pieces. And then this is 8 pieces. So 8 plus 8 is still showing 16 pieces. So your answer to this would have been 16 pieces. Okay, so I'm going to have you do 3, 4, 5 for homework. Then flip it around. I want you to, we will do one on the back here. It says Julia has 12 pieces of fabric and she cuts each piece into fourths. How many 1/4 pieces of fabric does she have? Well, again, you could sit there and draw this out, or you could just do the keep, change, flip methods. She has 12 pieces, and then she's going to divide them into 1/4 pieces. So that she wants to know how many 1/4 go into 12. So again, make them both fractions. Keep 12 over 1. You're going to change it to times, and then you're going to flip this to 4 over 1. Now to solve this, you would have to do what 12 times 4 is. So I'm going to do that up here. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. So therefore, my answer would be 48 over 1, which is 48 pieces. You will do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're going to do the rest of the page. And that is all for 8-2. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Bye.